Okay, this is a quick walkthrough of how we built a no-code app for an aged care industry client using a combination of traditional automation and integration and a no-code front end in Glide. Steph, over to you.
Thanks, Blair. This client approached us because they wanted to give their clients a better idea of where their current balances were for their accounts. And so we were tasked with creating a front-end portal, which we're about to show you now, which gave the clients access in a web page to their current balances, which were then refreshed on a daily basis. And this is far better than what they were used to, which is a monthly statement and then effectively being in the dark in between statements as to where their account balances were.
Cool. So I'll demo how a client would log into the portal. So it's a web interface, and grab my PIN number. Once I've logged in, then as Steph said, I'm going to have access to my balance on a daily, it's updated daily rather than with monthly statements. So I can see this is what my balance is estimated to be as of a date, and we break that balance down by referring to the last closing balance, any credits since then, and any debits since then. Another feature that we built was because clients are constantly submitting purchases, they want to be able to submit those purchases via the portal rather than managing them with email and spreadsheets. And so they can do that, and purchases are listed here. They have a status of not reviewed or approved. So a client understands where their money has or hasn't been spent in reference to their monthly balance.
That's right. So that current balance is changing on a daily basis as a result of accrued subsidies, and then also, as you said, Blair, expenses and purchases. And in the old way of doing things, the clients were actually calling up in between statements to find out what their account balances were. And now with an app, they don't need to do that. So that frees up the aged care provider from having to provide that telephonic support. Another huge bit of value.
Nice one. Let's have a look at how we built the app. Let's bring this up. So this is a view of how the backend works, and I'll let you explain that, Steph.
Sure, thanks, Blair. So the orange Lassio bot there represents Lassio AIM, which is Lassio's automation and integration platform. It allows us to do arbitrarily complex calculations and business logic, etc. In this particular case, we're using Lassio AIM to interact with a backend CRM via that CRM's web portal because their API isn't rich enough to provide the data that we need. We extract data out of that web portal in CSV format. We then perform a bunch of transformations, calculations, business logic, that sort of stuff in the transform data phase, and then load that data into an Excel spreadsheet, which exists in the client's infrastructure and domain, so the data remains with the client. And then, of course, from Excel, that data is available in a pre-calculated format for relatively straightforward presentation. And I'll let Blair talk about that side of things again.
So as with most no-code tools, the data source is a spreadsheet. And so our data here has a number of tables, columns in the table, etc. And Glide, as with other no-code tools, is able to present that data in any way that we want it to be presented.
And a nice feature of this setup is that we don't have business logic running in the front end. The business logic is dealt with in the back end, and we're just dealing with the presentation in the front end, which is a neat separation of concerns. And of course, the nice thing about what we're seeing here is a pattern, a blueprint that could be applied to almost any business in almost any industry, really, with no code, low code for presentation, and then arbitrarily complex code in the back end. So a really nice pattern for producing value quickly.
Beauty. Thanks very much, Steph.
Nice one. Thanks, Blair.